was off for that. Oh, you did? I was off for 2 weeks, so I worked for a week. That was great. So anyway, it makes me happy that I went back.
Pretend there are throngs online.
Would you believe me now if I told you I got caught up in a wave? I almost gave it away. Would you hear me out if I told you I was terrified for days? I thought I was gonna break. Oh, I couldn't stop it, tried to slow it all down. Crying in the bathroom, had to figure it out. With everyone around me saying, you must be so happy now. Oh, if you keep reaching out, then I'll keep coming back. And if you're gone for good, then I'm okay with it. If you leave the light on, I'll leave the light on. No other way that I'm still dancing at the end of the day. If you leave the light on, I'll leave the light on. Light on, light on, light on. Do you believe me now that I always had the best intentions, baby? I always wanted to say, can you feel me now? That I'm vulnerable in oh so many ways. Oh, and I never change. Said stop it, tried to figure it out, but everything kept moving and the noise got too loud. Everyone around me said, you should be so happy now. Oh, if you keep reaching out, then I'll keep coming back. And if you're gone for good, then I'm okay with it. If you leave the light on, I'll leave the light on. Light on, light on, light on. 'Cause I am finding out there's just no other way. That I'm still dancing at the end of the day. And if you leave the light on, I'll leave the light on. Light on, light on. Oh, would you leave the light on? Oh, would you leave the light on? You keep reaching out, and I'll keep coming back. And if you're gone for good, then I'm okay with it. If you leave the light on, I'll leave the light on. And I am finding out there's just no other way. And I'm still dancing at the end of the day. If you leave the light on, I'll leave the light on. Light on, light on, yeah. If you leave the light on, I'll leave the light on. Light on, light on, oh, just leave the light on, and I'll leave the light on. Woo, nothing like a song to get you moving and wake your voice up and your body up in the morning, right? Hi, welcome. Hi, everybody online. And Anissa. I am also waving to Anissa in the way back. Welcome to Sojourn Grace. Super happy to be with y'all this morning. Just a reminder, you hear me say it every time I'm up here, but you did it. You're part of the thing. You online, you're part of the thing as well. There's no checklist. There's nothing we're scrutinizing about you to make sure that you belong here. You just do. You belong. So with that said, let's continue our singing. I'm just trying to remember where I am in this one. This is in E flat?
G.
Oh, thank you. Glad we discussed that.
Have you skipped the song? You Stand By You?
Okay.
This is an oldie.
Zoe, why you look so sad? Tears are in your eyes. Come on and talk to me now. Don't be ashamed to cry. Let me see you through. 'Cause I've seen the dark side too. When the night falls on you, don't know what to do. Nothing you confess can make me love you less. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. So, as if you're mad, get mad. Don't hold it all inside. Come on and talk to me now. Hey, what you got to hide? 'Cause I get angry too. Well, I'm a lot like you. You're standing at the crossroads, don't know which path to choose. Let me come along. 'Cause even if you're wrong, I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. Maybe even to your darkest hour. And I'll I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you. And when the night falls on you, baby, you're feeling all alone, you won't be on your own. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. Take me into your darkest hour, and I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. Oh, you know I will. Take me into your darkest hour, and I'll never desert you, 'cause I'll stand by you.
So this song is a song by Madison Cunningham that my roommate introduced me to. Actually, during quarantine, I lucked out and got a roommate that played piano. And so she would play this song all the time, and I really fell in love with it. And a couple months ago, she was like, you know, you really need to sing this song at Sojo, because, like, she hasn't even been here yet, but she knows what this place is because of how much I love it. And she's right, because this song is about really, like, when I came here, I was deconstructing, like so many of us are, and we're coming out of that, like, doctrine and believing things. And I remember when I was going through so much of that loss of God as person and so many things like that, I remember talking to Kate, and Kate saying, like, let us be God to you right now. Like, let us be like hands and feet while you're still figuring it out. Like, we can be there. And for me, that's what this song is about, is someone in this, like, I need something constant, I need something sure, and that coming from, changing from something to believe in to someone to believe in. So, yeah.
Something constant, and you want something sure, something you can hold, something secure. I've seen your eyes knocking, and they turn from the door. Tell me what it is you're looking for. If you need something to believe in, you can believe in my love. Your heroes stand tall, and you lean on their strength when one takes a hard fall. With them you break. Well, the rope never mattered till it was holding your weight. I guess trust is a chance you take. If you need something to believe in, you can believe in my love. Well, I've spent my life looking for a truth I can bear, but kingdoms are just sand, and a throne is just a chair. to grow up, to die and tear, and spring again in summer air. I've needed someone to believe in. I've needed someone to believe in. I've needed someone to believe in. Can I believe in your love?
That was lovely. Thank you, Jazz. You can grab a seat. Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Colby. I'm one of the co-pastors here at Sojourn Grace. Welcome to Sojourn on the live stream. Welcome to our sweet little crew here this morning. My phone kept blowing up this morning with, hey, I can't make it today, but I hope the last Sunday at Christ Lutheran goes well. Hey, I can't make it today, but I hope, hey, I can't. I'm like, oh my gosh, is anybody going to come? And you're here, so thank you for being with us on our final Sunday here at Christ Lutheran. Not our final Sunday as Sojourn Grace Collective, but our final Sunday here at Sojourn Grace. In fact, why don't you just go to the third slide, which is my third house note for the morning, which is just to say, yeah, house note, well done, which is to say that beginning in November, we're moving back to North Park. And so on November, yes, that is woo-worthy. That is woo-worthy.
Half the drive.
Very happy for almost everyone in the drive departments. And not only are we meeting back in North Park at the Children's Creative and Performing Arts Academy on El Cajon Boulevard, right off the 805, but we're also moving to 10 a.m. So all of you who have gotten used to coming to church at 11:20, we never started, now at least come before then. So at 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings. That's 10, just come at 10, would you? That would be great. And then go back one announcement, and I'll say the Joy Box, which is our way of inviting those of you who want to support the mission of Sojourn Grace through your donations. You can do that at sojourngrace.com/donate to do one-time gifts and offerings, or you can set up to become a recurring donor. And why would you do this? Well, I think for several reasons, one of which might just be because the community, like Jazz just so beautifully spoke to, this community has created, over the last 7 years, this soft landing place for so many people who have found themselves trying to disentangle themselves from some of their previous religious heritage and needing a place where there is no shame, no judgment, as we are asking questions that maybe we've never asked before, as we are finding out we don't have the answers to any of the questions, and that's okay. And so this place has been a soft landing place for so many over the years. And some people find that that's what they need, and they sort of say, well, thank you for the short stay, which is why we call ourselves Sojourn. Thanks for the stay. You've helped heal me from some of that. I'm going to move on now from church. And many others say, actually, I want to stick around and keep investing in this community so that others can have that same landing place that I had. And so if you find yourself in that and you want to support our mission, we invite you to do that through the Joy Box. All right, now we're going to move into a part of our service that we began during our virtual church era when we were just virtual during the pandemic. And this was a way to connect with the people through the camera, through the interwebs. And we are doing it here in person too. And it's sort of this mixture, and sometimes it gets awkward, which is, we do awkward well here at Sojourn. We call this collective conversation. Let's get to it.
Actually, the most awkward part of this so far is me getting in this chair. Good morning.
Oh my God. Okay, my phone keeps taking, look at that. It keeps taking the comments off. Like, I've been in the comments with you all. I've been commenting with you. You know that. You've seen me. And then look at that. Now it's like.
Maybe someone's just going to have to tell us what the comments
Oh,
are.
there they are. Okay.
All right,
I made them come back. I am magic.
ready for
You know what I don't have, baby? I don't have YouTube, and I love YouTube, and I miss YouTube. So if you, awesome.
kids
I love
like
it. Yeah, we
YouTube.
got questions. Anissa's on it. Hi.
All right. Who's ready for the first one?
I am.
I actually didn't read it.
You have to pre-read it so you can approve it or throw
hold
it.
on. Okay, this is fine. I was like, wait. If your workplace had show and tell for
Hi,
adults.
Merce.
Oh, hey, Merce. What thing would you be proud to display?
See, every time you add for adults or adult to anything, it sounds dirty.
No.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Adult
I do.
show and tell.
Just
Adult
like-
show and tell.
I think
Am I wrong? Is that
you're
just
not wrong.
me?
You're not wrong. So it's wrong.
Oh, thank you.
But,
Here's
okay, fine.
YouTube.
If your workplace had show and tell in general, what thing would you be proud
In general.
to display? Okay, give us some answers. So we're gonna.
So we stop
Ramble.
making this weird. Cool.
You made it weird.
You made it weird.
Oh, I'm trying to think.
Hi, Marie. Hi, Cameron. Hi,
The
Melissa.
All right. The
Hi,
kids.
Shane.
All right, that's a good one. It's so sweet.
Ooh, that is good. Hi,
right.
Frankie.
Oh,
You're
this
you're
is
getting
what
all the
Frankie
love
went-
this morning from your kids. You know what? I would think of it anyway like a normal show and tell, like whatever you want to, like and tell, right? So
Oh yeah, you can tell.
the and tell part.
I never think of that.
Whatever you want to share in your adult life.
Voices. All
I
right.
like it.
All right.
I like
and
it a
now we know
lot.
what's happening after this. Is Jazz.
Jazz is going to give us some voices.
All
Instead
right.
of the spiritual nugget today, we'll just bring Jazz up for some voices. I like it. It's adult show and tell time, everyone. That's what we're doing at church today.
All right. We stop adding adults. Okay. I can't think of one. I really can't. Anyone else got one?
I'm going to say my cat Gilbert, because my kids always complain that they can't take their cat to school for show and tell, and so I'm just going to do that for them in my pretend adult show and tell world. And he's real pretty. He's like the prettiest cat I've ever seen in my life, so.
Oh, I like it.
And he bites, but whatever.
Andy bites. Yeah, your cat. Maybe we don't bring your cat to the workplace. What are people saying? Let's see. My
I don't
house
know.
plants.
Ooh, I like that, Donna.
Donna.
Christmas stocking. I was brought home from the hospital in as if you were brought home from the hospital in a Christmas stocking.
What?
That's too cute. I
I feel
can't
like
handle
I missed
it.
that. I should have done that for someone. No one was born at Christmas.
Huck was. We didn't bring him home in a stocking.
Well,
We
maybe.
should have. Karen says she would bring knitted things. Look, I can make this from string.
She made a sweater that she was wearing with long sleeves.
From string.
From string.
Hey, you in the room, shout something
Yeah.
out. What would you show and tell?
You'd
Just
bring
show and tell the
You'd
people.
Bring the people.
The people who help. I like it. I like it. I like it. Shane says a poem, perhaps. Cameron says I'd be sharing my sock collection, which is making me laugh so hard, which I'm so sorry if it's not a laugh thing. It might be
I love
I
socks.
like
I
that a
would-
lot.
I want to see a sock collection.
Oh,
I've never
people
had
are
any.
still commenting about how beautiful that song was, Jazz.
Yes,
So
it was gorgeous.
there's that. I love it.
Yeah.
Dude,
Alright.
bouncing back and forth
I'm
between
gonna
comments
go,
as
I'm
they
gonna go to
hop
the next
in.
question, unless anyone in the room has one. Nope. Going once.
I think they really want you to move on.
Just nope. Do you have a favorite number?
What?
And any particular? Okay, fine.
Throw that card.
Veto.
No one
I
wants
do.
to share
For
their.
the record, I have a favorite number, and it is 7. So there you go.
You're very spiritual.
14? 10? This was a good question.
Oliver has one, 5.
What's yours? 5? 5. Benjamin's
Okay.
is 27.
I repent. You were right. I was wrong. But still, can we do a third question, please?
3? 3. See?
Apparently, everybody has a response
Anybody
to
on
this.
there? Do they have-
I don't know, because there's a delay.
Oh, there's a delay. All right. Well, let us know. If
They'll
you got
start putting a bunch of numbers in the feed as we're talking about the second question.
about favorite numbers.
third
Let
question.
us know. Okay. The
Oh,
third-
Cameron says, yes, all about the funny. Good. I don't feel bad for laughing anymore. The socks are funny.
Would you veto this? Because I'm very curious now.
Yeah.
You're vetoing it, or you're?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I thought you said, would you be into this? Yes, I'm very into that.
What is your favorite?
Also, I don't
microwave-
have to approve. You can do whatever
That's
you
fair.
want.
I just was curious. I don't know. You vetoed the last one. What's your favorite microwavable food? Wow.
All of them. I like it.
Oliver's got one.
Pizza. Microwave pizza.
Yeah. Toast. Oh.
Jazz like, no microwave toaster oven. She vetoes the. See, now people's numbers are popping up. 30,996.
That's a good one. People have favorite numbers. It's a thing.
We told you this was the awkward time in our service. What can I say?
I think my favorite microwavable food might be like cup of noodle.
Ooh.
It's like,
ooh.
2 minutes and 45 seconds. Oh, yeah. Popcorn, that's true.
Does anybody in here microwave their coffee? You know what? You shush. The whole reason I was asking the room was to try to like boost my confidence around this, and instead I got crickets and boo. Oh.
Oh, yes, for me.
yeah.
Ooh, I have an
Smart.
answer to this for you. There's a frother that does both at the same time. Anyone
Change
else?
your life.
Favorite microwavable food that's not
Cameron,
coffee?
why are you microwaving tuna
Well,
in your
same reason
office?
you're microwaving coffee.
The coffee smells good when you microwave it.
that's
Tuna
fair.
fills the
Yeah,
office with
tuna
the
in
smell of
the
tuna.
office. That's terrible.
He's got to be
You're
joking.
right. You're right. Oh, microwave dumplings specifically from Costco.
Oh, yeah, they have to be from Costco.
All right.
Well, at least Costco's the only ones we know that sell this brand of dumplings.
All right.
They're really delicious. Oh, Cameron's with me with the reheated microwave coffee.
Oh, well.
Shane says potatoes smashed with a fork and topped with butter and brown sugar.
Oh,
I've never heard of that.
me either.
Ever, ever, ever.
What? Sweet potatoes? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's also true.
Cameron, you're cracking me up this morning. I can't stop laughing
agrees
at you.
with the popcorn. She also agrees with the microwave coffee, so we're all going to have an intervention. It's fine.
Oh, wait, someone just wrote, does even this belong? If you don't know, Sojourn's little tagline is it all belongs, and someone just wrote, does even this belong? I really want to know what they're referring to,
Maybe
but
the
kind of
tuna.
this whole situation is probably what they're referring to.
For the microwaving coffee? Yeah, that's fair.
And Karen responded in all caps, it all belongs, Joshua. I don't know. Does even this belong?
What else? Anyone else?
I gotta
like
know
any
what it's.
microwavable
Oh, it is
things?
about the microwaving coffee. That's what he was asking. Does even this
We're
belong?
going to let it
Yes.
belong, but
It
we're going to
belongs.
talk about it.
But we're gonna talk about it. All right. Thank you for joining us. And did you have more to say?
No, I don't.
okay.
I really don't.
Thank you for joining us in awkward, brave, and kind conversation. We love y'all.
Yes, brave is good. This
Right? Bravery is needed when it's this kind of a morning. Thank God we have music.
Do you like how we just slowly migrate to our instruments when we decide it's time for this to be done? I'm gonna go walk and grab the guitar.
It's the Grammys time. Just fade them out.
Just play them off the stage.
It's the hook.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. 'Cause a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. Restless streams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp, turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light, split the night, and touched the sound of silence. In the naked light I saw 1,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening. People writing songs that voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fools that I do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls, tenement halls, whispered the sounds of silence.
Hi, beautifuls. Am I? Yes, I'm good. I sometimes forget whether I pushed the little flashing light or not. Hi, I see that most of you are hanging out online today, so I will try to remember to look at the camera sometimes. It's good to be with you, even when it's through the screen. I love seeing your names pop up and those little profile pictures pop up. I'm so glad that we still do that part of church so that we can all be together. And I'm glad that we learned how to do that through pandemics. One of the things I'm grateful for during that hot mess of our lives, right? So as we mentioned this week, Sojourn is moving. This is our last Sunday in this space, so we'll spend the next week moving physical spaces for our church home. And at the same exact time, our family yesterday just got keys to our new rental, and we are moving our family's home to a new location as well, which includes our offices and our studio. So there's a lot of moving happening in my life, is what I'm saying. And so that said, it's kind of been all I can think about. It's all-consuming. If you've moved, you know how all-consuming that is, and then especially when there's that much moving happening at once. It has just been all I've been able to think about. And so I thought about church and sharing some thoughts and reflections, and I thought, God, it just makes sense then to talk about what's been coming up for me as we've been going through these moves. So I want to talk this morning, just share a few quick reflections and a couple of invitations as I've been thinking about the human experience of home and the spiritual practice of hospitality. So I want to share with you a story that happened for me this week as I was working on moving. And I want to share with you some reflections that came up for me and just offer two quick invitations for us as we go about our week, and hopefully just some real applicable, practical spirituality for us to ground us and move us forward in wholeness, which is our mission here at Sojo. So speaking of that mission, what's been coming up for me this week is this idea that home is the place where we are whole. This mission we have of wholeness, right? We practice wholeness. And any way that you think about home, whether it's being at home in your own body, right? Being comfortable in your own skin, learning to be at home in yourself, or whether it is that experience we all have of feeling at home with another human being, or a building like your actual house or church or an institution or a community, whatever type of home. I think this working definition of the place where we are whole, it applies to all of these different kinds of home. We feel most at home when all of ourselves can show up in the space, right? And that's why our own houses so often feel so much like home to us, is because we just lay it all bare, right? We can just be completely ourselves. And so we've all had that experience with some other place outside of our houses where we just feel at home, more at home with a certain person, more at home in a certain community. That is definitely our goal here at Sojo, is that people would feel at home, meaning whole, that all of themselves can show up here in this space. So I want to talk with you this morning real quick about this idea of taking up space in the world, because that's what's coming up for me about home being the place where we are whole. It would mean that we get to take up the space in the world that we need to take up, right? So first, to do that, I want to share a quick story about my week in working on moving. So my garage is a nightmare. Yes, this is what garages are? Okay. I just really needed affirmation around that, like everybody to go, uh-huh, yeah. It's a nightmare. We've moved a lot, we've moved out of state a lot, and every time we just take everything with us. It's quite ridiculous. I will say that we're worse than most humans about that. Like, our garage is extra. It's real bad. We've not done a great job of minimalizing or purging or even like remotely clearing out. Like, it's bad. Like, I found a stack this big of a stack of the napkins from my parents' wedding. Why? Like, even a napkin from their wedding might be a little weird, but like a stack this big. No one needs that in their life. So anyway, I was down in my garage in the nightmare, and we use our garage for a lot of things too, so it's extra ridiculous that we have this much stuff. So I was like, this move is big for us. We are downsizing significantly, and we have to use our space really well because we do a lot out of our home, like I said. So I'm like, okay, I gotta tackle this garage. I gotta finally deal with the like parents' wedding napkins situation. So I'm down there doing that, and I come across 2 items that just stopped me in my tracks. I just felt stuck. They were my mother's wedding dress, and then my mother's long, like, black dress coat that she wore quite often to every adult, we'll bring that up again, adult gathering. I just have this picture, right, this beautiful picture in my head of my mom getting ready for an evening out, you know, and I could just, so I pick up the coat and I can just feel that experience of being a kid and watching her, like, you can smell the perfume even though it's not there anymore kind of situation, right? And just everything is coming back to me. And for those who don't know, my mother passed when I was a teenager, so these items have a lot to them, right? And so I pick them up, and like everything I've been going through, it's been very clear to me what I need to do with it. It's no big deal. These items just stop me. I'm just stuck. All they do is sit in a bin. That's it, with a lid on them. That's it. They just sit in a bin. And I take the bin from Arizona to Oregon, from Oregon to California, from this house to that house, and it just keeps sitting in a bin. That's it. No one will ever wear these items, I promise you. They will not be handed down to anyone. I don't wear them. No one's going to wear them. That's not going to happen, right? I don't ever go out to my garage and open up the bin and sit with the items and spend time with them and have a good experience with them. That doesn't happen. So nothing happens. It's just a bin I lug around. And it's a lot to lug around. They're big, heavy items, and it's a giant bin, and it's just, I'm trying to do this paring down, and there's no purpose to this other than the meaningful, which we all know it is meaningful, whatever. But throwing them out in any way, whether I gift them to someone, take them to Goodwill, whatever happens with them, getting rid of them, parting with them, feels like a piece of my soul going away forever, right? That doesn't feel good either. But these are my 2 options, I'm convinced. And so I'm so torn. I don't know what to do with these items. I feel so stuck. And so I just pick up my phone, and without even thinking about it, I text my 2 best girlfriends. And I'm like, I need you, all caps, : And I'm like, here's what's going on. I'm in my garage. I've got these 2 items. I don't know what to do with them. Do I finally get rid of them, or do I keep lugging them around in the box? My precious best girlfriends respond to me immediately, without skipping a beat. Neither, Kate. You don't have to do one of those 2 options. There's a third way. You have other options before you. And so I want to pause right here in our story and say that what came up for me is that oftentimes when we feel stuck, especially stuck between two not so ideal options, when I'm like, I either gotta do this crappy thing or this crappy thing, I'm so stuck in life. Often it is coming from a core place of, I don't believe that I'm worthy of taking up space here in this area of my life. And that is so what was happening for me. In this pain avoidant, grief averse world that we live in, my expression of my emotional attachment to my mother, who passed a long time ago, has not been something I've felt like I'm allowed to take up space in. In fact, I have very much felt that I have needed to shrink, get as small in that as possible. So my options are lug it around in this box in the garage and let it never be seen and just here, not great. Or throw it away and I'm just stuck because I cannot take up space. And my best girlfriends were like, guess what? You have a whole world at your feet. You have a world of options before you. And they start throwing out, what if we made something new out of these items that you then did like experience and have with you? They were like, put it in the box just for this one last move. And then when we get to your new house, we're gonna go out to your yard in the treehouse and we're gonna do some witchcraft and we're gonna come up with a new thing for these items. Third way. So I put them in the bin like they instructed me, and I wrote with a Sharpie across the box, mom's old stuff, and then an arrow this way, new plan, witchcraft. And then I put it in the pile of stuff to go with us to the new house. But what I am telling you is this is the practice of hospitality, what my girlfriends did for me. To say to another human being, you're not stuck between these two crappy options. You get to take up space here. This is how we experience home. Wholeness, the place where we are whole, where all of us can show up. So I wonder, this is my first invitation to us this morning, I wonder if there's an area in your life today that might come up for you where you feel stuck. And if maybe, just maybe, that stuckness, that I have no options before me, might be because you feel like you can't take up space in the world. Because we are given that message by the world all the time, that you can't take up space here, shrink, you belong in this box. Right? This situation in my garage with my mother's stuff, it really wasn't about taking up space in my garage or throwing something out. It was about taking up space here or pushing stuff aside here. This was about emotionally taking up space, spiritually taking up space. This is about my wholeness. And the thing is that I knew to text these two women, because these are women that I have sat around a fire reading out loud angry letters I've written to my dead mom. So they have shown me that they have capacity for this taking up of space in this particular area of my life. And so they have become home to me in this way. They have been my wholeness in this area, the area where I can show up and be fully what I need to be in that space to express that grief and that loss and that weird space of looking at death and not knowing what to do with items that you're never going to touch again but that you can't part with. And they're like, hey, guess what, Kate? There's third way here. There's space for you. There's space for you. And so I wonder if this morning there's an area in your life where you need someone to say to you, and so I say to you, there's space for you. There's space for you to be whole. To not be stuck between two crappy options. You get to show up as your whole self. This is the practice of hospitality that we can do for others as well. Maybe there's someone who's coming up for you in your life that you know that they're stuck. And you can think about going about your week this week and showing them, maybe just say explicitly to them, hey, this area of your life, I just want you to know that I have capacity for you. You can take up space here. I'll be home for you. May we practice hospitality this week in that way. You deserve the space you take up in this world, my loves. And lastly, my second invitation for us this week in thinking about this idea of home and this idea of practicing hospitality, taking up space in the world and helping others to do that, to curate that for them. in that garage and realizing that I texted those two people, as I said, those were the people I knew I could text about that because I already knew their capacity for such space holding, right? I knew they would practice hospitality with me. I knew they would hold me in that way. I knew they would be my home in that. And it made me realize how often, like, okay, so if we're talking about taking up space in the world tells us to shrink and like stop taking up so much space. And then religion, even, and maybe especially religion like masquerading as really open progressive spirituality, that kind of religion then is the flip side of that coin that tells us that the most spiritual thing that we can do is to have all the capacity in the world to hold everything for all humans at all times, to be all for all the time. You must be home to every being you ever encounter. You must hold space, have all the space for everyone always. And so as I'm standing here trying to talk to you about practicing hospitality, encouraging you to cultivate spaces where people feel like they can take up all of the space that they need to take up, I would be remiss to not mention that an and in that, maybe not even an and, just the message in that, like imperative in that, is that we remember that we are humans. Any spiritual practice that leaves out our humanity is not wholeness, right? So we have limited capacity. I knew 2 humans to text about that situation. I did not put it on Facebook, right? This was not a situation for all people in my life, and not all folks were ready in that moment to hold space for me for that specific situation. If we want to be hospitable people, to create space for others to take up space in the world, to express and bring their wholeness to the situation, to the relationship, I think we have to be well boundaried. To recognize that you cannot hold space for all things for all humans at all times. And it doesn't make you a less hospitable person. In fact, I would argue that the more you practice boundaries, the more hospitable you become. That our capacity to hold expands with our practice of being able to say this. This is my invitation to us this morning. Might there be an area in our lives where we need to simply say out loud, I don't have space for that right now. God, I love that sentence. It's so beautiful. Because like the right now, right? This is not a for all times thing. This is like, I can never hold your grief, or I can never hold your stress, or I can never hold your trauma. I don't have space for that right now. The right now-ness is so important. Because then it doesn't speak over us that we're a person who can't hold things. It's just, I don't have space for that right now. It's just recognizing our limits as human beings. That does not make us less spiritual. It does not make us not spiritual. It doesn't make us not compassionate. I would argue it makes us more compassionate. It does not make us unkind. I would argue it makes us more kind. To know what we can hold and when we can hold it. I want us to get to a point where we can just say to folks and to ourselves, I don't have space for that right now. It involves this trust, right? It's a trust in community, knowing that what I don't have space to hold, you will. Someone else will be there to hold that weight that I can't right now. And vice versa. I want to be a church home that like lives into that phrase church home, that really lives that value of home is the place where we are whole. And so we all go around practicing hospitality, practicing creating spaces where you can show up in the world as your whole self, creating spaces where, look, you get to take up space in the world. And I think part of that is learning to say, I don't have space for that right now. It sounds counterintuitive, right? It sounds counterproductive if we're trying to create space for people and then we go around saying, I don't have space for that right now. But I really, 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 really believe that it honors our humanity and actually helps us expand our capacity. Because when we just try to go around being everything for all people, we're depleted, and then we got nothing for no one, right? So these are my 2 invitations for us this morning, is that we would go about practicing being walking, breathing homes for each other. That we would be able to think of someone in our life right now who needs to hear the words, You get to take up space here on earth in this situation. Take up space. I'm here, I've got it. And then the flip side of that, of I don't have space right now. Could we practice these two things together and trust that they go together and they make us more hospitable human beings who are home for each other? We'll close in prayer, and the band will come back up and close us in song, and then we'll take communion. Beautiful Spirit, whom I trust, is holding us all. Thank you for this time to come together and be home to one another, to hold space for one another. God, may we go about our week trusting that what we don't have space for, others do, trusting that you have space for all, that you are in all and through all and holding all. May we breathe and trust that Spirit is in us, in our humanity, in our limited capacity. Trust that we are held. Amen.
Beautiful love, with arms of a mother, holding her daughter, guiding her son. Beautiful love, the strength of a woman, birthing her children and bearing their pain. Every breath that you breathe, every song that you sing, strong and gentle, wild and controlled. Every move makes a sound, every tear feeds the ground. Strong and gentle, beautiful love, beautiful love, with eyes full of comfort, hands that nurture. Your house is our home. Beautiful love, dressed in wisdom, all God and all human, all light and all love. Every breath that you breathe, every song that you sing, strong and gentle, wild and controlled. Every move makes a sound, every tear feeds the ground. Strong and gentle, beautiful love.
with eyes full of comfort and hands that have nurtured. Your house is our home.
Always forget about bumpers. Leave space, Kate. Thank you for being with us, live streamers. I'm so glad you were here. We are all going to go out and take communion in the courtyard. Everything is on the table there to the left. Oh, thank you, Anissa. So you can just grab your little juice box and your crackers or whatever you'd like on your way out, and we'll go take communion together. I actually think that the live stream we're just saying goodbye to. Did Kolb say anything about that this morning? Because I don't think we have the ability to turn and try to include y'all. So, hey, I will just give you all a blessing now, and hopefully wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can take the elements and still know that we are with you. We're with you there in England. We're with you there up in Washington. We're with you there over in New York and up in LA. I'm just naming the places I can think of right now, but I know there are more. I love you all so much, and be blessed as you go about your week. And then see you all out in the courtyard.